Welcome back, everyone. This is Cine Commendation, and today we're diving into all the major theatrical and streaming movie releases hitting this February 2026. We've got one of the most anticipated releases of the year, potential Oscar contenders, horror franchise finales, and some genuinely exciting stories worth your time. There's a lot to unpack in this video. So, without wasting any more time, let's dive into the first release of the month.
Mama's okay.
Kicking off February on the 4th is one of the most haunting true crime documentaries you'll see this year. The Investigation of Lucy Letby.
Can you come in, okay?
We need to speak to you. I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder and attempted murder.
The feature-length film is about Lucy Letby, the British neonatal nurse who was found guilty of murdering 7 babies and attempting to murder 7 others under her care at the Countess of Chester Hospital. This 90-minute documentary features never-before-seen police interrogation footage. On the other side, it also features lawyers and medical experts who question the evidence and the legitimacy of the conviction. Letby's case remains one of the most divisive criminal trials in modern British history, and this documentary doesn't shy away from exploring why. The Investigation of Lucy Letby drops on February 4th, only on Netflix.
You wrote a note saying I killed them on purpose. No comment.
On the 4th of February, Prime Video is bringing us a faith-based romantic comedy titled Relationship Goals.
The journey starts with the single.
I want to talk to you about the future. But to see that future, you're going to have to stop dwelling on the past.
The film follows brilliant TV producer Leah Caldwell, who's about to make history as the first woman to run New York's top morning show. But just as she's on the verge of breaking through that glass ceiling, her ex, Jarrett Roy, swoops in to compete for the same position. Jarrett claims he's a changed man, transformed by the wisdom of the New York Times best-selling book Relationship Goals by Pastor Michael Todd. It's got that classic rom-com feel, charm, chemistry, humor, but infused with faith-forward themes about purpose, belief, and building relationships that last. Relationship Goals drops globally on February 4th on Prime Video.
Did I just microdose? On Jesus.
One of the most stacked theatrical releases of the month hits screens on February 13th, Crime 101.
Take a deep breath in and exhale.
Based on Don Winslow's acclaimed 2020 novella, the film follows Mike Davis, an elusive master jewel thief planning one final multi-million-dollar heist alongside Sharon Colvin, an insurance broker who may be far more involved than she first appears. Hot on their trail is Detective Lou Lubeznik, a relentless lawman who refuses to let this last job slip through his fingers. The film is written and directed by Bart Layton, the mind behind American Animals and the chilling true crime documentary, The Imposter. And the cast is absolutely stacked. Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, and Halle Berry backed by some of the strongest supporting talent working today. And if this adaptation captures even half of Don Winslow's razor-sharp tension and hard-boiled crime style, Crime 101 could be one of the year's most satisfying big-screen thrillers. Crime 101 hits theaters nationwide on February 13th.
Hello, James.
Also hitting theaters on February 13th is what might be the most unhinged sci-fi action comedy you'll see all year. Good luck, have fun, don't die.
Hey! Who's ready to save the future?
The fuck is that?
It's a map. I drew it. Fuck you. Let's see your map.
A man from the future travels to the past and recruits the patrons of an LA diner on a desperate mission to save humanity from a rogue AI. The film is directed by Gore Verbinski, the visionary behind Pirates of the Caribbean, The Ring, and Rango, marking his long-awaited return to directing. If anyone knows how to balance wild spectacle, eccentric characters, and dark humor, it's him. The trailer looks wildly entertaining, and if it delivers on its promise, this could be one of the most chaotic, fun theater experiences of the year. It will hit theaters nationwide on February 13th.
It's gonna be okay. Or it's not. I don't know.
One more movie hitting theaters on February 13th is a romantic period drama, Wuthering Heights.
What should you do, Heathcliff? If you were rich?
The film stars Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi as Catherine and Heathcliff and follows a forbidden, all-consuming love affair that spans years and destroys lives. It's passion, obsession, betrayal, and revenge, all set against the bleak, windswept moors of Yorkshire. Written and directed by Oscar-winning filmmaker Emerald Fennell, and if you know her previous work, you already know this isn't going to be your typical costume drama. If you're looking for a sweeping, epic romance with modern sensibilities and bold filmmaking, Wuthering Heights is non-negotiable viewing. The film opens nationwide on February 13th.
Do you want me to stop?
Then, if you are a horror fan, 2 movies are releasing this February that are worth checking out. The first one is the final installment of Lionsgate's horror trilogy, The Strangers, Chapter 3. In the final film of the Strangers trilogy, Maya faces the masked killers one last time in a brutal, full-circle reckoning of survival and revenge. What makes this trilogy unique is how each chapter builds on the last. Chapter 1 introduced us to random, senseless home invasion terror. Chapter 2 explored the aftermath and the victim's trauma. Now Chapter 3 brings everything full circle. Maya versus the Strangers in a final confrontation where someone has to stay down for good. If you loved the original 2008 Strangers or enjoyed the first 2 chapters of this reboot, you'll want to see how it ends. The Strangers, Chapter 3 opens nationwide on February 6th.
Please.
Kill her.
Then on February 27th, one of the bigger slasher horror franchises finally arrives, Scream 7.
Hello?
Do you like scary movies? Surprise, Sydney.
Neve Campbell returns as Sidney Prescott. She's built a new life in the quiet town of Indiana until a new Ghostface killer begins to target her daughter Tatum, forcing her to face her past to end the killings once and for all. The film is now directed by Kevin Williamson, the man who created the franchise and wrote the original Scream, Scream 2, and Scream 4. Scream 7 will be the first film of the franchise that will also be releasing in IMAX and is going to be a whole new experience. If you've been following this franchise since 1996, this is the finale you've been waiting for. Scream 7 slashes into theaters nationwide on February 27th. The prime original action-packed movie starring Priyanka Chopra Jonas and Carl Urban arrives on February 25th, titled The Bluff.
Bloody, Bloody Mary! I'm told you have a beautiful new family. They know who you really are.
Set in the 19th century Caribbean, it follows a mother and former pirate who built a peaceful life on a remote island with her family, leaving her violent past behind. But when her former captain arrives seeking revenge for her betrayal, her world collapses, forcing her back into the violent world again. Produced by the Russo brothers and directed by Frank E. Flowers, the movie blends stunning real-world locations with high-stakes action. The trailer teases gripping sword fights, tactical traps, and bloody brawls that looking absolute brutal. The Bluff will release worldwide on February 25th on Prime Video. Now, the film that has nominated for Best International Feature Film at the 2026 Academy Awards arrives on February 6th, Sirat.
No echas de menos a tu antigua familia.
No mucho.
The film follows a father in search of his missing daughter along with his son in the deserts of southern Morocco. The title Sirat refers to the Islamic concept of the razor-thin bridge between heaven and hell, and that's exactly what this film feels like. Sirat won the jury prize at the 2025 Cannes Film Festival and already nominated for 2 Golden Globes, including Best Foreign Language Film and Best Original Score. If you want to check out in theaters, then it has limited release in New York and LA on February 6th.
Tiene que aparecer alguien que nos ayude.
Aquí solo hay polvo.
Then, Sony Pictures bring you a feel-good sports animated movie, GOAT.
When I get big, I'm gonna be just like her.
You're not just gonna play ball, you're gonna change the game.
It follows Will, a small goat with massive dreams who gets a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to join the pros and play roarball, a high-intensity, co-ed, full-contact sport dominated by the fastest, fiercest animals in the world. Sony is betting big on this one, and the animation style looks vibrant and dynamic, with kinetic action sequences that capture the intensity of professional sports. If you're looking for an animated film the whole family can enjoy, something with humor, heart, and high-energy sports action, GOAT is your Valentine's Day weekend pick. GOAT opens nationwide on February 13th.
And I want her to be right.
Before we close out, there are a few more February releases worth a quick mention. Let's run through them fast. First is a horror film titled Whistle. It follows a group of high school students who stumble upon a cursed object, an ancient death whistle, and discover that blowing the whistle and the terrifying sound it emits will summon their future deaths to hunt them down. It will release in selected theaters on February 6th. Also on February 6th, a heartfelt romantic comedy, Solo Mio. After a wedding disaster, a man decides to go on his planned Italian honeymoon alone, traveling through stunning locations and discovering that sometimes the best adventures happen when life doesn't go as planned. It's pure feel-good escapism. That same day brings Twisted, a digital-only release horror thriller from Saw director Darren Lynn Bousman. It follows a con artist whose real estate scam unravels when she's captured by a surgeon with terrifying plans. It will available for digital rental on February 6th, and rounding out the day is The Huntsman, a psychological thriller starring Shawn Ashmore as an ICU nurse who volunteers to help a coma patient accused of murdering 6 women. As he digs deeper, he's pulled into a dark maze of deception and buried secrets. It opens in select theaters February 6th, then hits digital on February 10th. Then, a movie on February 13th is Tyler Perry's Joe's College Road Trip. Joe takes BJ on a cross-country college road trip to teach him about the real world, leading to rising tensions and life lessons. It's pure Tyler Perry chaos, raucous, irreverent, and surprisingly heartfelt. On February 17th, action fans get Hellfire, a digital-only release starring Stephen Lang. It follows an ex-Green Beret drifter who wanders into a southern town ruled by a ruthless crime boss and corrupt sheriff, igniting a one-man war for justice. Then, on February 20th, a gothic horror thriller, The Dreadful, set during the Wars of the Roses, where Anne and her mother-in-law struggle to survive on the outskirts of society until a man from their past returns and unleashes a curse. It's atmospheric, dark, and hitting select theaters and digital simultaneously. On February 20th, there are 2 films worth checking out. The first one is Firebreak, a Spanish psychological thriller starring Belén Cuesta from Money Heist. The film follows Mara, who, after the death of her husband, travels with her daughter and family to a summer house to prepare it for sale. But when her daughter runs into the woods and a wildfire breaks out, Mara must make impossible choices in a race against time. And finally, the Korean romantic drama Pavan arrives February 20th. The film follows 3 young people who have closed off their hearts but slowly find light through one another, ultimately learning to face life and love again. It's a bittersweet story about connection, loneliness, and rediscovering what it means to love. Wait up! The video is not over yet. Netflix is bringing some of last year's biggest theatrical releases to the platform this month. If you missed these in theaters, now's your chance to catch up. First, on February 3rd, Ethan Coen's neo-noir dark comedy Honey Don't. The film stars Margaret Qualley, Aubrey Plaza, and Chris Evans in a crime thriller set in Bakersfield, California, where small-town private investigator Honey O'Donoghue investigates a series of strange deaths tied to a mysterious church. Then, February 10th brings one of 2025's biggest surprises, the live-action How to Train Your Dragon. Directed by Dean DeBlois, who helmed the original animated trilogy, the film stars Mason Thames as Hiccup, Nico Parker as Astrid, and Gerard Butler reprising his role as Stoic the Vast. It's a faithful, visually spectacular retelling that captures the magic of the original while bringing Vikings and dragons to life in breathtaking live action. On February 27th, Dave Bautista's action thriller Trap House. The film follows an undercover DEA agent and his partner as they embark on a cat-and-mouse game with their own rebellious teenagers who have begun robbing a dangerous cartel using their parents' tactics and top-secret information. And closing out the month on February 28th is Jurassic World Rebirth, the 7th entry in the Jurassic Park franchise. It stars Scarlett Johansson as Zora Bennett, a covert operations expert leading a dangerous mission to extract DNA from 3 massive dinosaurs. The film grossed over $869 million worldwide and became the 6th highest grossing film of 2025, while also earning an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects. That wraps up of our today video. Now tell me which of these upcoming releases are you most excited for? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you want to check out the TV shows that are releasing on February, that video is linked on screen right now. And if this video helped you plan your February watch list, smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching Cine Commendation, and I'll see you in the next one.